Welcome to Chapter 15, Security Breaches and the Law. Access control exists of reducing to access control exists to reduce the risk and unauthorization of access to valuable information resources. The consequences of unauthorized access can be serious: loss of reputation, financial losses, and even the loss of military or infrastructure resources are compromised. In this chapter, we will discover the ways that compromised access control can result in security breaches. You'll also discover the legal implementations. So what are our topics? U.S. and federal laws, the cost of inadequate access control, how access control fails, the security breach is what we're going to be looking at. So let's look at laws to deter theft. Espionage between organizations used to require a physical act, such as stealing paper documents and making physical copies. Identify theft that was a factor only if someone lost a wallet or if it was stolen. Although the information, federal and state laws have been created to act as deterrents to information theft. These laws require organizations to take steps to protect the sensitive data stored, processed, and transmitted by their IT infrastructures. These laws are considered with which the organization must comply. Organizations must protect data from breaches. They must also be able to tell if the information has been breached or has occurred. So, federal law. The technology breakthroughs of the information age have allowed organizations to be more productive and automated many interactions with consumers and stakeholders through the internet. This has been unfortunate drawbacks. Various regulations define an organization's obligation to secure information. So we're going to take a look at this Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. We have Computer Fraud and Abuse Act is a federal criminal statute designed to protect electronic data from theft. It was enacted in 1984 and designed to protect classified information maintained on governmental computer systems as well as financial. In 1996, Congress expanded the act to cover computer-used interstate commerce. Obtaining information from a computer through unauthorized access, trafficking in a computer password that is intentionally damaging computer data, and stealing. So this is what the law protects. The Digital Millennial Act of 1998 implemented legislation that facilitates the United States Principle World Intelligent Property Organization Treaty. The Act has two major provisions of interest to IT professionals. First, it must make it a crime to bypass technology mechanisms used to enforce copyright provisions or sell equipment designed to bypass mechanisms. Second, it introduces requirements for internet service providers to receive and respond to copyright infringement complaints. Copyright technology protection prohibits the unauthorized disclosure of data by circumventing an establishment technology. Measure of organization. Technology measures include things like product key for software, CD and DVD copies, system passwords, and so on. Let's see. The ISP requirement is also the internet service provider received and respond to copyright complaints in a timely manner. State laws. All states now have laws that apply to unauthorized access to confidential information. Because they have so many parts in common, the section covers one in depth. California. California identity theft statute requires businesses operating in California to notify customers when the business has Reason to believe the information has been stolen. Personal information is defined as social security numbers, driver's license, physical address maintained. Any person who, with the intent to defraud, acquire, transfer, or retains possessions of personal identifying businesses are required to take reasonable steps to destroy all records containing personal information. Business and government agencies must notify individuals when anything is hacked. Cost of inadequate front door or first layer access control. Computer systems and data are essential in our modern lives. The safeguards of securing these assets are both logical and physical. Many times the needs for physical security in a computing environment is overlooked. Unauthorized access is sensitivity, data, and physical access can create a significant risk for the organization. All physical security must comply with the applicable regulations such as building and fire codes. Access to secure computing facilities will be granted only to individuals with legitimate business needs. All secure computing information allow this. Visitors must be escorted at all times. Access control failures. Every organization has sensitive areas for information that should be protected. If the information is left unsecured, it is hard to claim the access is unauthorized. Most responsible organizations implement some type of access control. People, even the most strict and thorough access control policies are prone to human error. This is vividly demonstrated in 2010 when a Virginia couple slipped past security into a state dinner at White House. The couple was subjected to all the normal security screenings procedure, but it was never a threat. But they were not on the guest list. They got it due to human error. Well, outside the network, the team didn't have access to the systems. Rogue internal operatives. Another aspect and human factor of access control is a rogue internal operatives. Disgruntled employees can pose as a major threat to information securities in the form of threat, sabotage, vandalism, and more. The best way to handle these threats is by embracing the least privileged that we talked about. Other related threats, phishing and spearing. These are emails and websites crafted to trick users into installing malicious software. Poor physical security, a hard drive, a flash drive that might be left, physical stored passwords on a slip of paper, file sharing or social networks, group that. The best way to handle the human element is the access control is through training. Every employee must go through it. Technology offers the best but can be bypassed due to failure in technology. No computer system is bug-free. Anything from the organization operating system is a choice in a web browser, instant messaging, and something like that. Windows operating systems prior to Windows Vista had the possibility of running very weak password encryption, but that has gotten much better. Radio frequency identification badges can be used to vector unauthorized personnel. A malicious software user could use an inexpensive reader to pull information of an ID. Privacy impact assessment is a comprehensive process for determining the privacy, confidentiality, and security risks associated with collection use. And this, identify the key factors involved in PII, emphasize the process used in that secure, have a sufficient degree of information from the project, have a degree and integrate that. Security breaches. Information security breaches take many forms. They include lost and misplaced data, stolen laptops and cell phones, hacked systems, data lost and stolen in transit, information taken by rogue employees, and more. Tangible damage. is calculated based on estimates of lost business, lost productivity, labor, material cost, and repair of the breach. What kind of security breaches are we looking at? System exploits. These include Trojan horses, computer viruses, and other malicious code. Eavesdropping. This is the act of passively gathering information. Eavesdropping can take form of sniffing networks and wireless traffic. Social engineering. This is the exploitation of human nature and human error, as discussed previously. Denial of service attack. These are purely damaging attacks meant to render the system unusable. Indirect attacks. These involve using third-party systems to launch an attack. Physical attacks. These range from technology aspects of unauthorized access. Why do security breaches occur? Either for money or vandalism. Financial gains takes numerous intruders to go through it, and monetary gain. Vandalism is just a major part of security breaches. This can be harmless, as kids having fun or trying to make the name for themselves, among other things. Implications of a security breach. Computer secure is a critical issue for any organization. Breaches of systems of security that damages the organization's computer systems can result in financial cost, loss, and penalties. There is no possibility of ongoing security issues due to intruders build themselves some backdoor access. The impact of the breach can be significant. The credit card processing company called Acme Credit Card Processing received notice from two of their larger card issuers that fraudulent credit card purchasing are occurring. Prior to receiving the notification, Acme did not know. After some investigation, the problem discovered that Acme Systems, a spyware program, was loaded onto Acme's system that originated with a spear phishing attack. A well-crafted email was sent to an employee who clicked on the link and infected the system with malicious software. The malicious program was able to pull credit card information. Financial breaches. As discussed above, the cost of security breaches to the organization can come both direct and indirect. They come from equipment replacement costs. And we can look at TJ Maxx, New York Times, Equifax. There's just a bunch that have happened, and you can look those up. So now we have an understanding of the impact of security breaches and how the attackers often combine several attack vectors in a single breach incident. You'll be able to design your access control to mitigate these. You'll be more likely to underestimate weak attacks.